unhinged.
SunDaze. I am your illest host from the East Coast who's always right, eating a delicious slice of buttered toast. Styles! And this man down here is...
It's your boy Fif in the building.
And this gentleman over here is...
Big Easy.
Big Easy, E-Money. And today's episode is episode number 53, the War Report, but I'm sure we'll talk about a whole bunch of other things very passionately. So, Joey, you usually, plus also, we don't have Dan. Yeah. Dan, I guess, had to work today. And we don't have Ryan, Mr. Hammer, because he's not feeling well, so hope he feels better. So you're going to steer the show like normal, Joey. So do you have anything you want to say? Does E have anything before we get into everything? Or do you just want to get right into the shit? I mean,
let's get right into it, right?
Let's get right into it. Yeah. My only one thing, if I'm gonna stay, no problem. Paul, one mic.
Yeah.
One mic. So if you say something, let the back and forth. Don't overtalk each other, please.
I'm gonna be good now.
Yeah.
I promise.
Eat some snacks and be good.
I actually do have some snacks, but I'm gonna wait a little bit for that.
Jesus Christ.
So do we want to start off with Iran? I mean, that's the biggest.
Let's start with the immigration since we already were a little hot on that, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about LA. Let's talk about LA.
And we'll end off with the war. What's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
So
you want you want to start off with the pro-choice of looking at LA and what's transpired over the last week or two. So, start with where we are and kind of defend. I don't know if you want to defend it or state your position on how you feel.
I'm gonna look.
One thing is, I'll be able to hear you. I just have to hit the head real quick, but I'll still be able to hear you. Go ahead.
Here's how I feel about that. They're protecting people that are trying to do the right thing. That started at an immigration office. Mm-hmm. People were going in to check in so they could keep on living here, right? They do their every couple months checkup, right? They went in to go grab these people. Come on.
I heard they also went down to Home Depot too. I heard they was at Home Depot.
They even went down to Home Depot to grab you're grabbing workers. Where are
construction workers.
We're steering away from grabbing criminals to grabbing everyday people, and this isn't right. And I know he had said, there's people waving flags from shithole countries. Hey, let me name a few cities in Los Angeles, which is angels in Spanish. Okay, there are tons of cities named after Spanish saints in that fucking city, right?
Yeah.
Spanish was the first language over there. There wasn't English. It was Spanish. Those people grew up. There's rooted people there, all right? There's a big Hispanic culture. So if you mess with one of their people, they're going to stand up for that, all right? Problem is, the news was cycling the same burning. It was only 3 cars they burned, and it was some jackasses. I'm not condoning that.
No, it wasn't 3 cars.
Yeah, it was 3 cars. They smashed a couple windows to.
No, they lit police cars on fire and taxi cabs. I'm saying a lot of stuff here, man.
The WAPO cars.
And again, they didn't. A few years ago, they destroyed the Capitol, and you yourself said nobody gave a shit, right? You said that.
No, I said what I said to you. What I said to you exactly before you put words in my mouth. What I said is there's statistics. There's statistics that are showing about 5% of Americans give a crap about what happened on January 6th. You can look it up. It's over with. Just like you guys now are saying that you don't care about Joe Biden anymore. We don't care about Joe Biden anymore.
No, he said 5%. He did say 5%.
You said nobody. I have it in my.
I said about 5%.
You said nobody.
Joey knows because I say it all the time. I quote that all the time. So
nobody gave a shit. So why should?
It's like you're saying because they're protecting the people.
Why should anybody give a shit about this?
But it's like you're saying that
this wasn't even half the fucking shit like what happened over there at the Capitol.
I didn't say anything on fire at the Capitol. Just
let's
and the looting. What about the looting? Did you see a lot of looting at the Capitol?
Listen, that happens. The looting, they smashed the fucking whole car. Did you not see that?
Yes, they did some damage. It still wasn't the amount of damage. There still wasn't the amount of damage. Bro, you sound like Brian. You know that journalist Brian Seltzer? He's on the news saying too that all the videos they're not all recycled. Yes, some of it is recycled, but yes, some of it was. But to say all it is, it's like Maxine Waters comes out. I had a side-by-side video of her saying there was no violence at all, and then you see all the fucking bullshit happen. It's just not reality. You know what I'm saying? I understand. He has some good points. He really does. I'm not saying he doesn't have any good points. But just because you're protecting the people, does that make it legal? Like, you know what I mean? Like, tons of countries throughout history have taken over other countries. Did you know that the United States paid for that land after we beat Mexico in a war? And Mexico only ruled that land for 25 years. It was Spain's land. It was Spain's land.
All right. And it was
so taken. Should Spain get it back?
Should Spain get it back? It was taken.
Right. But you can take by force.
They washed their hands when they sold that. Whatever. They literally sold it and let their people, because these people, they basically raised them, taught them the Catholic religion, taught them Spanish, taught them different ways of building. Like just
we know that atrocities happen. We know it.
They literally took the rug right under those people and just said, go ahead, take it, and massacre. And they massacred millions of people.
What do you think Spain was doing in there? What do you think Spain was doing in there? Bro, if you look through history, man, like what you're saying doesn't matter. Everybody has taken land in history. If you can take it back, then come and take it.
You're saying culture doesn't matter?
Just like they try to say that there's no such...
Paul, hold on, Paul. Yeah. You know what he's saying? If you look at the history of the world, there is no land that is actually unique to one person, because it has been this. It started off. No, think about it. It started off with small pockets of tribes. This tribe took this tribe. This tribe became twice as big. This tribe beat that. So and then this country took this country over. So if you go backwards in history, whose land is really whose? Because this country is taken over this country 2,000 years ago and evolved. This country took this country over 1,000 years ago. So whose is really whose?
What's funny is the Native Americans get their land taken, they get a casino. The Spanish people get their land taken and they get deported.
No, they got bought. We
bought You realize that when Spain came here, that they were killing all the indigenous people.
Dude,
right?
not even the Spanish people. He's saying the Mexicans. He's saying.
Why do you shake your head at fucking reality? Why do you shake your head at historical facts? I don't understand that. I don't get that though.
Paul, listen. The United States purchased that. There was an agreement, right? So therefore, in
a treaty.
Are Mexico being Indian givers now? We want our land back after I purchased it from you 100 years later?
The Treaty of Guadalupe. The Treaty of Guadalupe. Look it up. The Treaty of Guadalupe.
You take something that wasn't yours to begin with. That's like me going to the house.
They sold. No. This is a business deal. No, this is a business deal. Listen, I have this lighter right here, right? I sell to you for $2, and now you come back to me 2 weeks later saying you want $2 back.
Wait. Without the consent of the people on that land, they just sold.
That's why this
the government did
it. And this leads to how rooted those people are. They're rooted there. If again, go to all these Portuguese bars around this neighborhood. Go. I guarantee. Let's call. Ice. I won't call because I ain't no rat. But maybe your boy will call. And fucking.
I'm not calling Ice either, but I still want them to do their fucking job.
So what's fair? People have gone into neighborhoods and literally made their fucking culture in those neighborhoods, and now we're erasing that. You tell me.
Listen to this. Hey,
we're erasing that shit. No,
may I speak quick, gentlemen? May I speak quick? May I say something? So according to the terms, Mexico recognized the Rio Grande as a boundary between the United States and Mexico. It ceded the territories of New Mexico and California to the United States, and in turn, the United States agreed to pay $15 million. Thank you. Goodbye. Like, it's that simple.
It's a business deal.
Again, you're talking about
So you guys want to take it back? I want you to not take it back.
Listen. His names, they're named after dudes. San Diego is a Spanish saint. Dude, you could go down the.
We're not saying that you guys that there isn't heritage names in there. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
but
me
once
too.
there's a business deal, it's not yours anymore. Secondly, what yours? I hear what you're saying. E. I hear what you're saying. You're like people have been here for a long time. They've put their roots in there into these communities. I get it. But if you really want to go back to the when you pull a weed out of the garden, you don't pull just the flower. You got to pull the root. You got to pull the root, or the weed grows back. And as an analogy, I mean this: the first step in this equation is they came into this country illegally, so that they've illegally done all this shit the entire time. Luckily, not gotten caught until now. There's these dragnets. Now, I agree with you on. I agree with you on the point of we shouldn't be deporting people that have been here for there should be what there should be is we should be dragnetting these people, and then when we catch the ones whatever when we catch the ones that have no criminal records, they've been here past I don't know what the numbers are because this is fictitious, but there needs to be say 5-year line, 2-year line forward. You've been here for 2 years plus, 5 years plus, 10 years plus, whatever it is. You don't have any criminal history. You've been paying your taxes. There should be a pathway to citizenship that way.
But yet that's not happening.
I know it's not happening right now. So there is talks about making an amendment to what's going on to that. Not an amendment, but they're amending what they're doing. There's talks about it.
Yeah, because now businesses are crying.
Because we're catching good people. Because good people get caught in the dragnet. That's the problem.
And to be honest, I don't like for bad people. I mean, for good people, hardworking people to get caught either, because that's what we are, is good, hardworking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's okay.
But it's like saying just allow them to be here. We have to allow the bad too. That's almost what nobody can answer that question for me.
Listen,
what's wrong with vetting them legally?
You're saying that right now, right? You're saying that right now, but the other day, they were going door to door in Rhode Island, knocking on doors. Is this Nazi Germany now?
Yeah, that's a silly comparison. That's a real silly liberal comparison.
They went.
Listen,
the Nazis
do you know that they have a deal?
In Germany.
Do you know they have a deal?
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Did the Nazis not?
Tell me about how Trump's Hitler. Tell me.
No, it's not. He has a point. I see what you're saying.
Answer my question. Did the Nazis not go door to door looking for
Jews? Yeah, of course they did.
Right, but what were they looking for? No, don't you know me? Don't you know me? What were they looking for him for? Yeah, bullshit.
No.
Let me say something.
It's a legit comparison. It's a legit comparison because if you think about it,
it's not. I don't agree. Me personally, I don't agree.
It's a legit comparison. No, you gotta give him that. It's a legit. That's a good point, E. It's a legit comparison because if you look at it, Nazi Germany looked for illegal Jews because they outlawed Jews in Germany. They were illegal, and this is the same. It's the same.
But
no,
they were already there, brother. They were already there, brother.
So weren't the illegals though? The comparison.
Oh my god!
It's a legit comparison,
bro.
But I will say this:
stupid.
Trump doesn't make Trump Hitler though. That doesn't make Trump Hitler.
It doesn't. Hey, listen, he's just going by that 2024, that 2025, that's what he's going by. Trump got.
Do you know?
The only reason he's in office right now is to stay out of jail. He's going by that 2025.
You're a fool. This is a waste of time.
He's president. He's president because more than half the country wanted him to be president.
Well,
this is what
buddy.
Not to stay out of jail.
That's even questionable.
Yeah, it's a stolen election now. I knew it. They're already saying that shit.
For another time.
Yeah, that's for more fucking foolishness time.
I'm asking your boy.
Is it a stolen election,
I'm asking
bud?
your boy. I'm asking. That's neither here nor there right now. I'm asking you. Did Germany not go door to door looking for Jews? Answer yes or no. It's a yes or no.
Yes, they did, but that doesn't prove shit, motherfucker. That doesn't prove shit. They actually offered it. No, I'm gonna speak for a minute. No, you've had all your speaking, bud. I can speak for 2 seconds too, please.
There's your intelligence right there.
Because all you're doing is screaming and yelling, brother. You haven't let me speak at all. You're just saying a bunch of stupid shit.
You're just gonna talk bullshit.
They offered these people. They have offered these people. If you are here illegally, we will pay for your flight home. We'll give you $1,000, and then you can come back legally. Bro,
listen
I don't feel bad for these people. And you're going to feel like a fool because it's happening whether you like it or not. It's happening, buddy. It's happening.
Hitler put up
I know. Trump's Hitler. Look at me. I'm a libtard. I think Trump is Hitler. Bro, it's fucking buffoonery, man. Come on, man.
They went to a Dodgers game.
Joey, you know they're saying that it was a stolen election?
They went to a Dodgers game.
And the Dodgers wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, did you hear that they're saying it's a stolen election now?
No. They went to a Dodgers game.
I have a question for you, though.
Round them all up.
No, hold on. I have a question for you.
How about that? Round them all up.
Paul, shut up. I have a question for you.
Dude.
What's the parameters to get them then? If they can't go to these places you're saying, if they can't go door to door, if they can't go to the Dodgers game, then what is the parameters for ICE to get the illegals then?
Do you hear? Okay, so when Obama, and this is the last time we had this conversation, we brought up that Obama did deport people without fucking due process.
The same process.
Right?
It's the same process.
No. Listen. He did do it without due process to people who were caught doing crimes. I remember because my boy, we were talking about this the other day. We said, hey, remember we were back when Obama, he deported. He was like, yeah, you don't remember so-and-so getting deported because he got caught with drugs or he got deported right away. You got caught breaking a crime, deported right away, right?
But you guys won't let us get the criminals. You guys won't let us get the criminals, so we gotta fucking get them all.
Let them finish.
Gotta get them all.
Paul, I need a mute button for this kid.
Fuck you.
Nonsense.
If we can't get rid of the criminals, then you gotta get rid of them all.
Oh, let him finish his thought. Let him finish his thought. Do one mic.
Yeah, good.
They didn't go out and pick up people at fucking daycares, at schools. Yo, they held a kid for 4 days because they wanted his dad to turn himself in.
Wow, I noticed that you're not worried about the 300,000 missing immigrant children, you fucking maniac.
So, what are we doing here? You went from
what are we doing here?
From getting criminals to getting hardworking people. Because at Dodgers games, you're gonna get a criminal at a Dodgers game? Really?
Possibly.
Oh, come on.
Not.
Again.
Possibly
so
not.
Let's call since you're so thing about why don't we call for the Portuguese bars over here? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of illegal. I'm guaranteed on that.
I'm sure
I'm guaranteed on that. So why aren't we doing that?
They would sure as shit.
I don't know. Why aren't
they would sure as shit come and get us.
Why aren't we?
Right here.
So stupid.
Right here. Because this is what they're looking for. Right here.
Hold on. What's the difference? Ready? What's the color difference between Portuguese and a Mexican? One shade? One shade? How could you tell? How could you tell the difference? How could you tell the difference?
Because one says "ay caray" and the other one says "chinga tu madre." That's a big difference.
Does the ICE agent know that by visually seeing that? No.
Hey, they're going. They've been picking up brown people left and right. What's the difference?
I'm just listening to the fucking nonsense.
And not even that. They even fucking detaining people with papers. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah, well, that's gonna happen though. That's gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
That didn't happen.
So hold on. Every
system's
perfect. Hold on. Every single system's perfect. You're telling me Obama didn't have a couple fuck ups? Come on, bro.
Well, listen.
In his deportation, he didn't pick up.
So are we just supposed to not get? So what's your solution? We don't get any of them.
There's no system that's perfect. There's always in these dragnets. You're gonna catch innocent bystanders, but their job is at that point is to identify those and put them back. That
happens to Americans. Americans get arrested wrongly. I mean, like,
and already, listen. This is a fun fact. They're over $1 billion over budget already. All right. ICE is already $1 billion over budget.
Yeah, because we let shit get too far in this motherfucker. That's why.
I don't even had a budget for this. Like, what's?
They're over $1 billion.
I mean, but it just sounds like what is this? Can I ask a question at some point?
Hold on. If they're $1 billion over budget on ICE, right? How much money would they be over by all of the illegals jumping onto the systems, like food stamps, hotels, shelters, all that? What's all that equal up to?
And now he's going to bring up his $100 billion, but they're still paying $50 billion. We're still paying $50 billion.
22% of what?
22%. 22% of illegals are on the system.
But what's that? No, that's not what I'm saying. What's that number equate to money-wise?
That number money-wise is only 150 billion, right? 150 billion. That's the whole country. They give back in 100 billion into the fucking system.
So they're still down. So they're still down 49.
So we only have to pay $50 billion.
You're still a net negative 49 billion. You're still a net negative 49 billion.
We're still down. We're still down 50, right?
But
they don't stay on the. They don't stay on the system long.
Is ICE going to be spending $1 billion forever? You know what I mean? You gotta if you're gonna equate the numbers, you gotta equate the numbers correct. You gotta hold the equality of both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're not even. They have to deport almost 5,000 people. I think a week or something. They said.
But they're not hitting those quotas. They're not even.
And they're not hitting those quotas. And thank you. And what are they doing? They're picking up now fucking innocent people to make the quota.
They're not innocent. They're not innocent.
It's because people are making. No. People are making their job, bro. People are making their job.
I just say this one statement. They entered
the country. Doing here?
They entered the country illegally. Right there. Step one. You're step one.
It's a misdemeanor.
Who gives a fuck?
Listen,
still crime.
I drive my car with no license. That's a misdemeanor. I still go to jail.
No, listen, that's not a
bro.
Yes, it is,
yeah, bro.
Yes, it is. It's not a felony. It's not a felony.
It's actually a crime. That's actually.
So is it entering the country legally?
Brother, this is the thinking. This is the thinking I don't get, dude. I don't get this thinking, man.
Again, you're taking people that are honest, that are putting back into the fucking economy.
Because they're making it so hard to get the bad people. What's your solution?
They're making it hard to get the bad. That doesn't make any sense, buddy. That makes no fucking sense.
So they're not making it hard for ICE agents to fucking collect the people. Are you full of shit? Are you really full of shit? They're not making it hard for ICE agents to get the criminals. They're protected.
He has a little bit of a point. He has a little bit of a point.
Bro, you're mental, brother.
Hold on. Here's why. Here's why. You have judges. Getting arrested because they took illegal people and tried to harbor them while ICE was in court getting them. So they are making.
Is that your solution?
But that's his point, though. That's his point.
Listen.
That's his point about it.
Is that your solution that people can do whatever the fuck they want?
ICE. He does have.
Okay, so they're making it harder for ICE to get somebody that works. Somebody that works.
But let me ask you a question. Why does that matter if you've already committed a crime?
That are not committing crimes.
They already did, but they already did.
No. Again, that's a misdemeanor.
Hold on. Quick question. Is a misdemeanor a crime? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it a crime?
A misdemeanor is not an arrestable crime.
Is it a crime? Well, that's not arrestable.
It's not an arrestable crime.
I got arrested. Listen, I have 6 of these charges. Driving on a suspended license, right? I got arrested every single time. It's a misdemeanor. So is a misdemeanor a crime and an arrestable offense? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Like, you can't deny it. You just can't. Like, he's arguing the Jasmine Crockett fucking position.
You're okaying somebody that's here, not even breaking, because not even 50% of those people fucking break crime that cause crime. So it's okay for those people to get kicked out of here, and we're stepping over people that are fucking really messed up over here to catch somebody that's actually given.
No. This goes. What you're saying goes against your own argument now, because just a second ago you were talking about they've already arrested all the real bad guys and they're going after these good guys.
No. And we're ignoring our criminals here and taking good people out of here. So, what sense? What are we doing?
You're going after people who committed crimes.
Who is committing crimes?
Again, let's go back.
So none of them. So what about the ones that actually are criminals? You haven't addressed that yet. What do you do with those, buddy?
He just said it.
What? What he said?
They go into. You don't look for a criminal at work. You don't look for a criminal at work.
Yeah, you do. You know how many people get arrested at work? They commit a crime, go to work the next day,
and get picked up?
Listen,
a crime, because I've seen it. A crime that they committed in the morning or something.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah, no,
but it doesn't. It's not an everyday thing. That doesn't happen every fucking day.
No, but it does.
Let's be honest. It doesn't happen every day. All right.
So that was the question.
You're taking, again, people that haven't fucking committed, that haven't gotten into any real trouble. Nothing. Not even fucking a.
I would like to ask an honest question, though, because I still can't get an answer from anybody. Do you really want to ignore the people that they've been releasing from, like, jails and stuff that are illegal aliens in Massachusetts? You can look it right up, that are sex offenders and murderers and criminals. Do you think they don't exist? You think none of them exist? They're all good people. You can look this up. You can find the information, brother. What do you want to do with them? Can we get them, brother?
Listen, if they listen, by all means, if they're getting locked up for sex offending, yeah, get them right out of the country. That's what Obama.
But they're
did.
Not.
That's what Obama.
But they're not doing it. Especially in Massachusetts, Democrats are protecting these people. Right, that's good, but they're not doing that here.
Democrats protecting. Dude, there's more pedophiles on the Republican side than fucking Democrat side. So stop it.
Oh right, yeah, because Epstein wasn't a Democrat. Diddy wasn't a Democrat, bro. You drank all the motherfucking Kool-Aid, brother. All the pedos are on the left, buddy boy.
Yeah. Matt Gates didn't fucking.
We grab adult pussies, not little boys' peepees. So sorry, buddy boy.
Girls, right?
Bro, was Epstein a Democrat? Was all of this
right? No,
was Diddy a Democrat? Look at all the shit Diddy talk.
The Republican dude that got caught. There was a
Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein's a Democrat too.
No, I'm asking out of curiosity. Who was? I didn't hear about this. Who was it?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, you better look it up.
No, E, while you look at that, I have a question to go back to. So, in your mind, when somebody enters this country illegally, is that not a crime? So to you, that's not a crime because you keep saying, because you keep going back to this point of we're only going to people who don't commit crimes. So in your mind, if you came here illegally, that's not a crime. So therefore, that's not.
It's like jaywalking. You could compare it to jaywalking.
See, I think that's the problem because it's not though. But it's not good. It's not jaywalking.
Again, did they murder anybody? Did that person? Do you actually?
What's the point of having laws? Let me ask you this: what's the point of having laws? No, what's the point of having laws if we're not going to follow them?
Dude, why? Again, we can follow the law already. They're not letting people in here as it is, right?
No, so they're letting in a certain amount. They're letting in certain amounts because you can't have 20 million flood in over 2 years. It offsets shit.
Right now, they're not letting anybody in. Right now, right?
No, they're not letting anybody in. Yeah, they are. They're still letting people in.
Dude. There's a stop. I don't think there's not anybody coming in here right now.
That's not what I heard.
No, that's not what I heard either. We'll have to look into it, but it's down to a very small amount. But I mean,
why are we taking people out that are already?
Why can't we go to other countries and just walk in?
Because they're illegal.
No, dude.
Why can't we go? Why can't we go walk into another country? Why can't I go walk into another country?
Let's go. Let's go to fucking. Let's go downtown to the south end. Let's bring ICE in there and see how many hearts we're gonna break over here.
Sure. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. If you're illegal, see for me,
but it's not happening, right?
Well, I also don't run that shit, but I agree with you. I agree.
Bro, there's even white people. There's even people who look white who are illegal aliens in this country.
Yeah, that's them too. As soon as they start speaking Spanish, that's it. It's a wrap.
Man, this shit about being, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist, but to be so hung up on it like the Democratic Party is, it's their whole identity, bro. It's their whole identity. The race card is their whole identity. Can we ever heal? Like, it's like you're saying, like, hey, we should just be, so basically what you're saying is we should be able to do whatever we want and not follow any laws. Just do whatever the fuck you would like to do.
No, I'm still waiting for you to admit that illegals entering the country illegally is illegal and therefore breaking the law. Because that if we can't get to that step, we really can't go forward here because your whole argument with me at least has been that where these hardworking people. Whether they're hardworking or not, I don't even dispute that. So, that's not even the fact. The fact is you have to go to the very first step of the equation, and that is, did you come to this? If you're an immigrant, did you come here legally or illegally? If you did the legal route, you're all set. Your path to citizenship is set. If you came here illegally, anything moving forward is moot because you started your journey you put the wrong step forward. You came about from the beginning, from step one. You came about the wrong way. You're trying to bring up step 3, 4, 5, being like, all right, they're good, hard-working people. Maybe they are. Maybe they never did commit a crime beyond coming into the country illegally. That's quite possible. I believe you on, because not everyone's a bad person. I get that. But you started your journey here the wrong way.
That Republican.
What does every other country do? Like, how does every other country deal with this?
Who?
RJ May.
RJ May?
He was just arrested.
MAY?
Representative May faces federal charges. South Carolina lawmaker, Republican RJ May III.
Ooh, bad boy.
Bad boy. But I mean, I just named a whole bunch of like, yes, they're both
anyway,
both sides, bro. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, now it's both sides. But that's besides.
No, you know, I asked him. I asked you for that. I asked you for that because I was curious.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been going back and forth and trying to. I'm not good.
No, but you were saying it was all Republicans. Is that what you? That's what you said. To be fair,
most,
like, no, it's not most. That's foolishness. That's bullshit.
Anyway, let's.
Should we talk about friggin' Iran, bro? Should we talk about Iran here, or at some point?
What time is it? What time we got?
11 for 20 minutes to 12.
Check this out, Russia.
All right.
Russia.
Hey, I got like another 20. I got like another 20 minutes. So let's.
All right, cool. Russia, China, and Pakistan just drafted a UN proposal calling for an unconditional ceasefire from Iran.
From Iran? Iran's not really. I mean, they're getting pummeled. How are you calling ceasefire?
Well, they're just saying, like, you know what they said, bro. Like, I understand this is a very tricky situation because nobody wants war at the end of the day. But I gotta say, man, that they wouldn't just go ahead and blow up these sites. But who knows if they even got everything in there? Because they were moving shit too.
Thank you. They said since
so there's a lot that goes into this, man.
Homeboy opened his mouth a few months ago and fucking threatened them. So they got up on their shit. He shouldn't have done that. And got their shit at it. So we may have wasted bombs for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
But
that's silly. No matter what you call it, it's fucking that's stupid, right? If you were planning on,
but there's still a lot more to this than that.
Guys, he should have never said anything.
I do agree with that.
He did catch everybody. He did catch everybody off guard because
he did a head fake.
The 2 Week King did fucking. I think he did that to spite everybody because everybody was calling him the 2 Week King. But
it was a head fake. But dude, can anybody deny that Iran? Because we can look it up. Their supreme leader says that death to America and death to Israel isn't just our motto; it's our government policy. They can't have nukes, man.
Listen.
And I know they've been saying for 20 years, but they definitely are have it or close at this point. There's no denying anymore.
It's not, bro. This is a facade. This is regime change. Because of what you just said. This is my opinion. Because of what you just said. Because they've been spewing that rhetoric about death to America and death to Israel. And America and Israel are like cousins right now, right? Like we're like boys. Yeah. We're not gonna allow anything bad to happen. And this is just my opinion. They use it. I don't think you have to be 90% uranium enriched in order to get a bomb. They're only at 60% from what I heard. So they're still a good portion away. They're using this as a false flag. Oh, it's the nuclear weapons in order to get regime change. Now, hold on.
I think that's part of it, yeah.
The Iranian people don't even want the Ayatollah or their government in. So this could be, in my opinion, this could be a good thing. This could be a good thing that we want to get.
I'm not disputing that's a fact. That the people do because anybody that's oppressed wants their oppressor killed, right?
Gone.
We can all agree on that, right?
100%.
Again, we're getting into something that we should have fucking had no business in, right? We gave this guy weapons so he could deal with his problem, right? With the
Israel.
Houthis.
You say America to the Israel?
Yeah, Israel. We gave them the capability, right? This cat went north and did his own thing, and which is bonkers to me because you're trying to take care of the problem that you're trying to decimate what's left of Palestine, and then you did a 180 and attack these people, and then it's almost like the little brother that punched the big bully and went running behind the big brother for protection. Now we have to now by right. Because they're so deep with Israel, now we have to put our nose in it. And I
don't think they need to run behind it because if you look at it, all right, let me ask you this: do you think Iran has had proxy wars with Israel, with Hamas, the Yemens, and the other people? I can't think of their name right now. The Houthis. You think have they been funding those three people who have been attacking Israel?
100%.
I wouldn't doubt it. Right? I wouldn't doubt it. But, dude, we basically gave them the tools to start a war and then throw us in the middle of it. That's my problem with it now. Because at least what they were doing with Ukraine was here's weapons, no boots on the ground. Right? Yeah. What I'm afraid now is after, you don't think we're gonna have boots on the ground over there?
We may not need to. We may not need to. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because we may not need to.
And this is why I said that this was, the discussion was still early, because we bombed, right? And we don't know where he's going.
We don't know for sure yet, because another big thing is the Strait of Hormuz. You guys familiar with with the Strait of Hormuz? Yep. If they've threatened before, and if they can block it, it's not that wide. All they would have to do is sink a couple of tankers, and gas prices would like quadruple. So there is danger. There is danger. But also, like, the thing that I'm thinking about is, like, how far do we let them go before we put a stop to it? Because every U.S. president has talked about putting a stop to this. All of them have. And like for example, when Obama came in there, he said he was going to stop the wars with Iraq and Afghanistan. Those weren't his wars, right? But he started up wars in Syria, Libya, Yemen, and Somalia.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why were you people different back then? You didn't mind it back then?
I'm gonna school you on this. So when he came in, he already took over a war from the previous regime, right?
From Bush, yeah.
From Bush, right? He already.
Yeah.
So that first year, he took out, I think it was 8,000 troops he took out of there, right? So we had started to find out where bin Laden was at that time, and he was hiding around that area. So he used drone attacks to attack those areas because he was looking for bin Laden. So he was only trying to finish what Bush started. I mean,
so why did he go into more countries, though? Why did he go into more countries?
Because bin Laden was jumping from country. He was going.
He wasn't going to Somalia. It was known he was going in the Tora Bora Mountains into Pakistan.
He was.
So Somalia's the other direction.
Look up all the video clips from back then of him talking about drones fucking blowing up people and shit. Like, dude, it's just weird that nobody cared. Like,
what do you mean?
Do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the hypocrisy?
He was chasing terror. That whole organization was with terrorism. He was going in there to take care of that problem, a problem that a Republican president already put us into. So he was just, again.
I mean, Democrats have gotten us into war too. Yeah.
Bill Clinton's a Democrat, got us into the Somali war. That's where Black Hawk Down came from.
So I'm talking about. People don't go deep anymore.
Libya,
what happened.
Gaddafi is also in Africa. Libya is in Africa, so in Somalia. That's the other direction.
Again, but it didn't cause a full out.
So it was all right. That was all right. I see.
No. Because they took out targets and it was done. They didn't.
But you don't at least see the hypocrisy in any of this.
No. Let's see, but
none of it.
Yeah, using that. They actually.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
They actually hit targets. They didn't just hit bunkers that were probably empty. You know what I mean?
No, we don't know that they were empty yet, and they were huge facilities. Let's not really.
Hold on. What are those facilities even doing there? If they're a good facility, why are they miles on the ground?
To protect them from bombs.
Hold on. And they're empty? Hold on. So you mean to tell me Iran took millions and millions of dollars to build facilities in the ground that were empty?
No, they moved some of it already.
Listen, you don't think Osama bin Laden moved around for fucking years, right? Moved his whole army around for years. You don't think they will do the same thing? Take their shit and move it around so nobody will. So
you are admitting that. So in your statement right there, you are admitting that there is bad shit being moved
around.
They have
it.
They're
got them.
Who knows? Wait a minute. If there is, they're moving their research to different places. That's all that is.
What research though? Nuclear research. Nuclear research they're not supposed to be having.
Yeah, that's what we have. And don't worry, because Israel has been picking off all of their scientists.
But again, we're speculating. We don't know what's in there. That's all speculation. We're speculating over here. They probably had. Who knows what they were working on? And again,
I agree. That's why I don't even believe it. That's why I don't even believe they have nuclear capabilities. I think this is regime change. I think they're using the guise of nuclear weaponry in order to get the Ayatollah out and the current president out, because the prince The second
Yeah, I
in
saw
line
that.
prince, the second in line prince was exiled from Iran and just recently was in Israel getting Israel's blessings. I think they're gonna try to put him back into power, which is gonna make Iran look like it did back in the 70s.
And back in the 70s, women wore bikinis in Iran.
Yes.
They fucking had rock and roll music and shit.
This
so
is my
fucking...
opinion. This is just my opinion. This is the way I see. This is the trajectory.
You can look it up too.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not
I could be
dying on
wrong
this hill.
too. Yeah.
I'm not dying on this hill.
We could all die because of this too. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
We're
I said
not, this is, and not only that, and I said before, is if we do put boots on the ground, this is something he was campaigning against, right?
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. This part of it, I'm with you.
In the Middle East.
100% agree.
That's true.
And
that is
again,
true.
dude, I'm working at the Navy base right now, right? Every day when I check in those gates, those kids are 19, 18 years old, man. You don't think in my head I look at those kids' eyes?
No,
and I'm
I get it.
They're gonna to think these kids might be fucking.
I agree.
But that's what I and you know what? I agree with you, but that's what makes me think that the decision just wasn't made lightly. Honestly, I think there's something to it, or he would not have taken
Or how about this? Here's the other thing.
Every U.S. president has wanted to do it, and they just haven't had the balls.
Before he was president, he was basing it off of what he knew was going on, right? Let's give an example. He gets into office, the real intelligence comes to him then, and now his idea prior was I'm not getting the rules, but now I have more information coming to me. Well, now maybe I have to change my mind. It'd be the same way as if we're on a construction site, we're gonna do it A, B, C, D. We get there and go, oh shit, I didn't know this happened. We have to alter our plans. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
The intelligence. First of all, I don't think he has the intelligence to strategize like that, right?
Well, he has people. He has a round table.
Yeah,
he has a round table.
Is a DEI hire anyway. That guy,
but old Joe was, right? But old Joe was
being the Secretary of Defense.
But Joe did though, right? But Joe did.
Has no business. So anyway,
but Joe did.
We're gonna get in. We're gonna get into that one day about DEI because his administration is the biggest DEI I've ever seen.
Who,
no notifications there.
Trump's?
Yeah.
What you're saying, Hegseth? You're saying the Secretary of Defense wasn't more qualified than Pete Hegseth is?
No, I'm asking you. I'm
gonna get a list together though. I'm gonna get a list together.
Is the biggest DEI?
I'm gonna get a list together of pictures and names of both. I'm gonna get that again because they look like a bunch of fucking maniacs, brother.
They just hired a 22.
You remember the bald guy that used to wear the lipstick and the dress, and he stole everyone's fucking luggage at the airport? That was one of Biden's. Bro, they're fucking clowns, man. They're fucking clowns.
What this guy did.
What about the fucking Who's the dude there? Who's the dude who looks like a chick? Who was the health secretary? Yeah, fucking.
No.
You want to talk about Bobby Kennedy? Look at fucking Levine, fucking.
22 years old.
Let me find it.
Who is that?
Just got hired. So his name is Thomas Futi. Is the leading Trump's terrorism and prevention hub. As head of Department of Homeland Security, Center of Prevention Programs and Partners, Futi has no apparent national security experience and replaced an Army veteran with more than 20 years of terrorist experience.
By the way, who wrote that, bud? Who wrote that?
I was going to ask that. Where'd that come from?
So we know.
Dude, no, this is on YouTube, bro.
So we don't know. So we don't know who said it.
Look it up.
Who said it?
22-year-old dude.
What's his name?
Thomas Fugate.
UGEFT?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they even keep them out of the freaking
Fugate.
Interesting. I'll look at it. I don't even know. I'll look into it. I can't speak on it. I don't know.
Hey, do you remember the dude that had Bobby Kennedy's job before?
Hey, and more qualified than Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah. Not at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, Bobby Kennedy's been a lawyer for fucking dude. Yeah, I know. Why? Because they told you not to like Bobby, right? They told you not to like him.
He went swimming in a.
He was a fucking dude. He was a fucking dude pretending that he was a broad.
He went into a sewer. He went swimming in a sewer and brought his grandkids.
Mental illness. Yeah, so he got, dude. So that lady was mentally ill. That was a man. That was a man dressed up as a woman.
Have you seen him?
A mentally ill man dressed up as a woman.
Have you seen Bobby Kennedy on Capitol Hill getting embarrassed? He said himself, "Don't take advice from me."
No, bro.
On Capitol Hill.
Every soundbite that you say is just it's all the liberal Kool-Aid, brother.
No, he did say that.
You know why he said it? He said it sarcastically, like. I know, bro. Look at all the fucking poison that this guy's taking out of food. Are you even home? Is there anybody home in here?
Yo,
this country. Are you denying that this country isn't sick as fuck?
What did he do before? What did he do before he was the secretary?
Excuse me. Answer my question. Are you denying that this country doesn't have health problems to the fucking hills? He's removing poisons from food.
Hey, listen,
he doesn't. He doesn't have anything that Bobby did.
We've known about that stuff for years.
He was an environmental lawyer.
Exactly. What does that got to do with our health? That has nothing to do with our health. And then
yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
When you poison the land you grow
you environmental climate change fools should fucking know that matters with your health.
That's the Secretary of Agriculture. If you
this dude really just said that the environment.
Secretary of Health.
So you said that climate change doesn't exist, is what you just said to me.
No, both those departments overlap. They have to. They cannot. You have the Department of Health and the Department of Agriculture have to have a symbiotic relationship because one affects the other one directly.
But he's a Secretary of Health. He's not even a doctor. He doesn't even have a doctorate to fucking begin with. So he has no idea fucking what he's doing there. Dude,
so he has no idea.
That's not.
Being an environmental lawyer. You have no idea about health with an environmental lawyer. So
poisons?
Listen, your business got to do with trees, grass, agriculture.
Poisons, bro.
His expertise is industry dumping harmful chemicals into rivers and
Look at this guy. You see this guy? He just wants to say all the skeletons in the closet shit, bro.
Paul, let him go.
I know, he looks stupid doing it, so let him.
Who's looking stupid? You're an idiot.
You, brother. I bet you think the job's good too, right? Are you on your 10th booster?
One mic in the level.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, kid.
Oh yeah, because you do, right? You don't even know what a fucking crime is, bud. You don't know what a fucking crime is.
Again, the Secretary of Homeland Security didn't even know what habeas corpus was.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
Who told you that?
No idea. Didn't know what
all this, bro.
That's her job to know that.
But why is it when I turn on like CNN, everything I hear you saying is what I hear on CNN?
The Secretary of Defense was asked the law the other day on Hill, Congress, and he had no idea what that law was. Look up the credentials of the guys before that.
You want to see clips, dude? We should show some. At
its best.
I wish we had our clips guys so we could show them showing all the Democrat congressmen and senators saying ridiculous shit like fucking women have dicks and men can have babies and shit. You guys are fucked. You're warped. You can't see reality.
Yeah. You see what you resort to.
But you wanted to call Bobby Kennedy a dope fiend, right? I'm using your same tactics. I'm giving you some of your own medicine, pal. I'm giving you some of your own medicine, cupcake. I'm giving you some of your own medicine, though.
The guy's a dope fiend. The guy's a fucking dope fiend.
Yeah. See, that's why you're a clown. Hey, I'm going to make a clip out of this because you look like a clown saying it. He's doing a lot better than you, buddy. He's doing a lot better than you, ain't he?
Hold on.
He was a Democrat your whole life.
Paul.
He said
when you say Bobby's a dope fiend, what do you mean? He's on drugs?
He used heroin through college. Yeah. He said heroin helped him study. Like, are you shitting me?
Right.
Would you hire? Hold on.
Hey, look, listen. Can I make a point? That's weird that this guy. That's weird that this guy does. That this guy wants to support. Can I say one thing? That's weird. This guy wants to support illegal aliens, but he doesn't want to help support people who have drug addiction. That's weird. I thought you were so empathetic, buddy. I thought you were so empathetic, pal.
Let me tell you.
So empathetic.
Let me tell you something. let me
show
tell
me
you
your
something.
sympathy,
I have
bud.
a lot of fucking friends that died from drugs, right?
Yeah, me too, motherfucker. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
That died from drugs.
Yeah,
right?
me too, motherfucker.
Paul, you're
What's
way
your
too loud.
fucking point?
Paul, bring the volume down.
No, fuck this guy. This is some wild ass shit, man.
You made those decisions. Instead of doing the right thing and turning your life around, people keep on fucking pushing that fucking.
Just like the illegal aliens who made the decision to come to this country illegally.
I feel the same way about drug addicts.
They made the decision. They made the decision to come here illegally. They made the decision, so now they gotta pay for the decision that they made. They made the decision.
Plenty of places.
Right. There's help out there to get into this country too, but they made the decision to come illegally. So you know what I mean? It's the same type of argument.
Hold on. No, I want to go back to your point. So he did heroin in college. He's clearly like 30, maybe 40 years removed from college now. How? So do you still consider him a dope head? So let me ask you a question. How old are you? You're in your early 40s, we'll say, right? Roughly?
Late 40s. Late 40s.
Right, you're in your late 40s. And you did drugs in your college days, right?
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Are you still that person? Are you still that person?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something I learned. I'm going to tell you something I learned going to AA with one of my friends. Once you're an addict, you're always an addict. You have to battle that every fucking day of your life, right?
Amen.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. And I'm a former drug addict. I don't buy that in the least,
you have to battle because those demons.
You can't get complicit, though. You have to think for the rest of your life that you don't want to go back there. Joey, don't be fucking naive, brother.
That's not being naive, bro. If you did dope 30 years ago, that crave for that dope fucking when you're 50 or 60 is so minute, it's not even on your mind anymore.
I agree with that.
So every day at 60, you're going to wake up like, I'm not going to do drugs. You don't even think about it anymore. It's done and over with.
No, but you do, man.
Your life. It's a pasture. No, that's their way of psychologically brain fucking you into, I have to go back into this program and blah, blah, blah. They want to keep you around because there's no money.
No, not necessarily programs. Not necessarily programs. I'm saying like thinking to yourself, I never want to go back there because it can happen. A crisis can happen. You could get in a car accident. A family member could die. You could be right back on that shit. That's fucking reality,
that's
brother.
A weak-minded motherfucker. That's a weak-minded person that allows that to happen.
Bro, I pray for you, brother, that never happens.
Paul, you know me. I'm a former drug addict.
Saying it can happen to me too, brother. Me too, brother. I'm saying it can happen to anybody. Me too. I've been clean for 20 years, but like, man, it can still happen. I've seen it happen to people. I've known people who clean for 20 years.
I don't agree with this.
Because they can't tell themselves no. Because they can't tell themselves no.
I have to agree with him there because you always have a demon. Listen, I may not have drug problems anymore, but I use other shit to fucking suppress it.
You're controlling it. You're controlling it.
I'm controlling it. I like to have a few beers after work.
I agree.
Right? Like to get
holy shit, I agree with this guy on something. Yes. Can we get a sound effect for that? We agree on it.
I still have sometimes a craving. It could be a quick second, but sometimes it comes back, right? And then
you don't romance it.
You're man enough to say, "Wait a minute, hold on."
No, I get that, but hold on. Does that make you a drug addict still because you have a craving?
Because you're always.
It makes you a recovered. It makes you a recovered drug addict. You are a recovered drug addict, man.
So who the fuck cares? What's the point? You're not doing it. Who cares?
Right.
You know why? Because it could.
Like he doesn't get another chance.
Anytime that man could say, "Hey, you know what? Life sucks," and fucking start getting high again. You know what I mean? It could happen. It could happen. And again,
I could walk outside, get hit by a car, and get struck by lightning too, and hit $1 million scratch ticket.
Do you know how many guys? Do you know how many people? Honestly, think about this. Do you know how many people in our government, in Congress, and Senate, and everything are on a ton of prescription pills and illicit drugs? Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I bet he's like 80% or higher. I bet.
But this guy, listen, this guy's out of his fucking mind, dude. This
guy, Bobby Kennedy? Kennedy?
About what? About what in particular?
He's at, dude. He's a. If we could go on for days.
He's right on the vaccines, man. On the jab.
Again, hey, listen. You wanna fucking not take vaccine? That's fine.
Right.
I'm not opposed to anybody saying they don't want to.
If they want to, that's your business. Yeah.
That's your choice. But when we have a rise in polio because people don't want to take the fucking polio vaccine,
that's not the vaccine that's on. No,
you need to look into that because
dude. The measles are on the rise and polio's on the rise.
Look up the research on the polio vaccine. Dude, the polio vaccine actually gave mad people polio.
Bro, listen, when they say the anti-vax, When they're saying they're anti-vax, they're not talking about the childhood fucking shit vaccines you get. Yeah. They're talking about the fucking COVID vaccine and these new mRNA vaccines. That's what they're talking about.
Because keep this, in like 30 years.
People hear this and they say, oh no, okay, no vaccines because all vaccines are bad and I'm not going to vaccine my kid.
Right. It shouldn't be like that. But it's like crazy to me that in 30 years, we went from giving, like what Joey just said.
We need to give them better information. We need to give them better information. We need to let it known.
There won't be though.
What are the consequences?
But they won't tell us the information though.
They want money, man. They take that shit and they hide it.
Money.
Because it's business. It's big pharma business.
They go to court and they say that nobody can read the fucking literature for like 50 years and shit. You seen that, right?
Measles, something that fucking we haven't had since fucking the 40s, is on a rise. There's a problem there.
Well, you know what they said though? You're not gonna like this. Yeah, but they said it's from people coming from third world countries are bringing the measles in. So
and the polio, it's coming from unvaccinated.
No, look it up. Look it up.
That's
what they're saying. But is there proof on that? Is there actual numbers on it?
Where's there proof on anything? Where's there proof on anything? Yeah. At what point? So if I'm gonna ask you a question. If it comes from a government entity,
I'm gonna look into it. I wish we had Ryan today. If it comes from a government
entity agency, right? And then you say, where's the proof? It's like, well, where's the proof of anything? You need a baseline to establish and say, we need somewhere to start believing in. Is it institutions?
How do we do that though?
Is it private institutions? Is it government institutions? Because anything can be corrupted.
This is why we're all fighting like this, because we can't agree on even facts anymore. Like
that's my point, though. All of us. The information space has been so polluted with shit. This is what keeps us divided.
But how do we do it, though?
Because
how the fuck do we do it?
No, listen. He says he gets his information from one place. You say you get your information from another place. They're both reputable within your own circles, right? You believe the information you get from whatever you listen to. You believe the information you get from whatever you listen to. But they contradict each other. How
and like portions, and like it's weird because like portions of them both have truth like in it too. You know what I mean? Like
so the truth lies in the middle.
They're playing all of us at the end of the day.
The truth
I really do sometimes sit back and think, because like I said, I'm not. I know it appears that I'm a far right wing nut because my wife tells me all the time. But I really, when I sit back and I look at it, I'm like, we're all being played at the end of the day. By the so-called elites, the powers that be, the people with the money, man.
But it's
on both sides, though, dude.
It's on display more now.
Like, look at George Soros. Every time I ask a Democrat about why it's okay for billionaire George Soros to pull all the strings, they don't say nothing. They say it's not. It doesn't exist.
Paul, you were screaming so loud. I got people at your house texting me. Tell him to shut his fucking mouth. I got people in your house. I'm like six.
My wife. It's my wife.
I'm like an hour away from you, bro.
It's my wife. It's my wife.
Did she come in and say something to you? She tell you calm down?
Dude, yeah, she did at one point. She was like, "Are you gonna be okay, or should I call 911? Are you stroking out in here?"
Oh my god,
dude! I've been so busy this whole time that I never even put anything up on the screen or anything. I just been busy screaming and yelling like a fool. So now that
look like a fool. Ugh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're gonna see when the shorts come out. There's certain times in here where you said ridiculous shit.
I love how he fucking cuts it out. That he puts his point that he got across. You don't put the points that I get across. I love that.
I'm pretty sure I got some of yours in there though.
Fucking edited. That's genius. I sit there and laugh.
Those are just shorts. Shorts.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but hold on. But you cut those, though. Paul, you cut those, right?
Yeah, but it only lets me go so far. Like that's how much time I have. Like you saw the Vigilant Brewing. You saw the Vigilant Brewing one, right? That got 1.2K views. That was sweet.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like I definitely want to go there too and check that place, man.
What he's saying is, if you make a point, like if you make a point that gets your point,
it's like how Fox and CNN do the same shit. I know
but then cut the short. Well then do the CNN one though. If you're gonna,
I'll get more of his cuts in there.
No, saying you should do it in a way where if you bring up a point on yours, right? And that's
but sometimes it won't let me get the whole. Oh yeah, good idea.
Make the next short his point, so you have two different shorts.
I can do Styles' point and then E's point. You can see both. Yeah,
but it's the same topic. Two different shorts.
He doesn't want to hear. To him, it's nonsense. So he doesn't want to hear it again. That's
no,
the
but it looks good.
Right, but I think you feel the same way. But don't you feel the same way too? Like, I think you feel the same way about some of the.
I don't want to hear that shit again because it's just like, yeah, this motherfucker's making a point. All
but
right.
that's kind of what we. But that's kind of what we were just. But that's kind of what we were just talking about. And like, you're the type of dude I feel like if any of us could, like, how do we talk ourselves as two separate sides out of this? How do we figure this out?
Listen,
because we're just like this, dude.
I keep on hearing, and I hear this a lot, especially for old school greenhorns, right? Obama was the one that divided everybody, right? I hear that.
I know a lot of people say it. I hear
that a lot, right? Dude, we are divided. We're more divided now than I think any time in this fucking country. Is it fair enough to say that?
100%, bro. I grew up in the 90s. Listen, I grew up in the 90s. I'm a 90s kid. When we grew up in the 90s, race relations, and I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts.
We're pretty good.
Yo, they were 1,000 times better 25 years ago than they are today. How do we go backwards? Moving forward in time, we went backwards when, as time was going forward, the integration became more. So how the hell did we go backwards?
I know, actually.
I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna.
I think I do, but I'll let him go first.
Here's my explanation. Spending most of my career doing drywall, I worked with Portuguese companies, right? Most of my career, growing up, I even speak português também. You know what I mean? E já tenho mais de 15 anos trabalhando com português, já posso falar. So, with that being said, my whole career, I used to hear guys upset because a family member got deported, or this one got kicked out of the country. So-and-so got caught with coke in their car, and he got the fuck out of here, right? I think there's a lot of animosity now, right? Like, oh, that wasn't fair because Nuno and Mario got deported. Now it's their turn. And that's how I feel it is right now. It's almost like a animosity that was hidden until it was okay. Now it's okay. You can fucking fuck that.
Hold on. You're equating. I guess let me try to rephrase the question, because naturalized born white people, naturalized born black people, and naturalized born Spanish people are at each other's throats today more than they were 25 years ago. It says to me this has nothing to do with the illegal immigration. That's if that has anything to do with it, it's such a low level. I'm talking about how do we get from the mid 90s to the mid 2020s and go backwards in race relations across all races.
Can I say something?
Are butting heads now more than ever.
Can I say something? That's gonna sound wild. I know E's probably not gonna like this, and some people it's gonna sound wild to them.
Something wild coming out of your mouth? No way.
Listen, the people who were saying about how Obama divided this country, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but they're saying that like he pushed a lot of like the LGBTQ plus stuff. And did you notice that this whole big LGBTQ plus revolution took all the minorities and said, "You're with us, white man, bad." And now where we are. Like,
again, if it is
there anything to it? No, that's just part of my. That's just one of my crazy thoughts.
There was more white women that voted for Harris than black.
Anything else.
Yeah, than anything else.
So they say overwhelmingly right now that men are voting for Republican and women are voting for Democrat.
I think there's an animosity.
Is it government propaganda making a fake narrative?
Because like I said, I used to hear that all the time. Like, oh, that's not fair.
There's gender wars now too because of what you just said. I want you to think what you just said. More white women have
women hate men now, dude. Let's talk about that at some point.
Now there's a huge beef between men and women. There's a beef between white people and everyone. There's a beef between black people and everyone.
There's a battle of the sexes.
Dude, there's a battle between. It's almost like instead of being a unified conglomerate,
we're more divided.
every slice of the pizza only worries about the slice of the pizza versus the entire pizza. They worry about their slice versus the whole.
Like, that's why I'm scared. I'm scared that something really bad is going to have to happen in this country for all of us to remember that we're all Americans here. Like, that's what scares the shit out of me.
Well, okay, now here we go back to...
And I know what you're going to say, yeah. Yeah, I think about that. No, I know.
Now, these people are fucking... You don't think for a second they're going to try to have people come on soil and do what 9/11?
They just said They just said across the ticker on the news that Iran just put out a headline saying that America will pay for this for the rest of its existence.
They're right. Yo, you do realize that in the global scheme of things?
No, I know.
Like they're actually winning. They're actually winning. They may lose the war, but they may lose the battle. They're going to win the war. And
they're proving their point. This is why.
But what I mean is their immigration has already flooded France. It's already flooded like Great Britain, like the UK. It doesn't even have a culture anymore because it's mostly Muslim now. And here's why. They said this back in the early 2000s.
It says right in the Quran they aim to take over the whole world.
No, but they said this a while ago. They know they can't beat you in a traditional war. What they're going to do is they're going to outpopulate you and wipe your lineage off the face of the planet. And they said this 20 years ago, and they're doing it.
Once they're 10% in the population, they start to take over, and they are embedded in this country too. Never mind Hispanic people. Let's talk about radical Muslims. Dearbornistan, Minnesota.
I again.
And they hate us. We are all infidels to them. Just saying.
Again, I agree 100%.
Like I don't hate them, and I know this peaceful
Paul,
Islam
let him say
too.
something. Paul, let him say.
Sorry. My bad.
I agree that there is probably people in this country that are Muslim that do hate us, but that's not every Muslim, right? We could agree with that.
True.
That's good people. They're good Muslim people. I've met a lot of good Muslims.
100%.
I work with a lot of good Muslims, right? Mm-hmm. This is just kind of proven the propaganda they spew to their people that America hates us and America wants to kill us. This just furthers their point. You know what I'm saying? This just lights the green light for them to say, oh, you know what? The Ayatollah was right. These people don't give a fuck about us. They want to take us out.
Yeah, but from what I'm seeing, more of the population is way against them.
I just seen it, I hear you say that, and a little while ago I seen it before I got on. I wish I saved the video. I seen them marching in the streets with burning Israel flags and American flags. Thousands. Dude,
but then in other sections, they're in the streets cheering. Over in London, there's a bunch of people flying out in
London because nobody's gonna kill them. No Iranian. If somebody speaks
look at you, bro. Look at what's happening to the UK. Nobody can except for the people over there. They're trying to deny it. In the UK, they're in trouble, man. Do we want that here? Do we want that shit here?
It's inevitable.
You hear that narrative, dude? You hear that?
So I have a solution. Then. We take all the illegal immigrants that we have here and we tell them, you're all Americans now and you're going to help us fight them. Sorry, guys. I had to take it there.
Hey, you wanted to deport people fast? That's one way of fucking it's telling now you're gonna.
Oh, but they're telling them. Hey, by the way, they actually are telling people that if they join the U.S. military, that they can become.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
Just.
But it's like just to possibly die. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude. It's yeah.
Dude, just as you say that, there's cases and there's a bunch of cases of people who served, and then after what happened, now with kicking off the immigrants, they've been deported. So
yeah,
man, I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I do try to see things from every angle.
I bet you that's such a small number.
No. It's a small number.
It's not even 1%. It's not even 1%. So, and this goes back. No, but this goes back to no system is perfect. There's going to be hiccups in everything. Any government agency applies something that's going to apply to everyone in the United States. Nothing's going to be absolute 100%. There's going to be some people that are caught in the net that shouldn't be, but there should be fail-safes for when that happens. We pull them out, we put them back in society. That's the part that we're missing.
Because
that's the
way that I always feel is, are we going to be so sympathetic and so progressive that we're going to just destroy ourselves? You know what I mean? Like,
no, see, that's not. There's a way of being fucking sympathetic and progressive, and still have a strong spine. At least, I mean, come on. It just because I'm a liberal doesn't mean I'm a fucking cupcake. I dare everybody. To try. You know what I'm saying? It's.
Yeah, you said you're not a snowflake. Yeah, you don't appear to be a snowflake. No.
Just because you're being a lib doesn't mean that you're gonna fold. There has to be a better way of fucking. We didn't have to do this.
Well, can we figure out? We still don't have a solution though. I wonder what the solution is.
Listen,
the other reason why there is no other way, because we don't have both sides of the aisle figuring out what that is. No matter what the left does, the right's gonna hate it. No matter what the right does, the left's gonna hate it. So there is no way to what you're saying.
That's what we have to combat, right?
What you're looking for is you're looking for like this symbiotic relationship where everything's perfect. There's never gonna be a perfect solution.
Yeah, but dude,
never
even back
checks and balances
before 2016, even Republicans, they didn't agree on it. John Kerry didn't agree on a lot of things Obama was pushing, but he always said that man was a stand-up guy, and he always gave attention enough to listen to what the libs were saying. You know what I mean?
But things have changed on both sides, though.
Do you want to know what? No, do you want to know what happened?
On both sides, it changed.
I'll be honest with you. You want to know what happened? The left started not being able to tell what a man and a woman was, and you guys started getting to this. It's that kind of thought process that makes people on the right look at the people on the left and go, you can't.
It turns people off, man.
If you can't tell me what a guy or a girl is, then how do you know what fucking 1 plus 1
is? You can be that thing. You can be whatever you want to be.
It's that type of rhetoric that gets you there. Though, is what I'm trying to say.
But like you said a little while ago about the immigrant soldiers, that's a small percent. So isn't the trans community. Trans community only makes up, I think, 1 or 2%. You know what I mean? If we keep on going back to that and not getting to the real issues.
But if it's only
2%, why is it so everywhere you fucking turn?
Because
it isn't just the trans people you're talking about now. It isn't just that 2%. It's the other people that support them, which are way more.
Yeah.
You don't have to be trans.
But,
now you're talking a much bigger.
All minorities are attached to that too. Do you see the flag? It has brown on it and like mocha. Bro, it's a.
Again, I have my own opinions about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna deny somebody their happiness, right?
No, the thing is they can be whatever they want to be, but why do they have to say something that's not reality?
But here's what we're talking about. We keep on going back to that instead of focusing on the real issue.
That's one slice of the pie. That's one slice of the pie that makes you said because your premise was before 2016. Why was it like this? Now post 2016, what? Now you ask yourself the question. Post 2016, what really changed?
And the second big one is that the left believes that there should be no fucking border and that it should be wide open and just anybody and their mother can flood in. So I'm just saying that, and the right's not like that.
You're saying that, but they came up with a bipartisan deal, and Trump shot that down.
Because there was a lot of funky shit in it.
They actually came up with a deal to shut the border down, to make it to try to fix this.
Are you talking about the end of Are you talking about the end of Joe Biden's presidency when Trump made that phone call?
Yeah.
Did you see what was in that bill?
I just said it.
So, no, but in that border bill, they had a part for Ukraine in there. That was going to send another $200 billion over Ukraine. If we're talking about the border bill,
and they had martial law shit. They had martial law shit in there too. They trying to sneak some just like they're trying to sneak shit in the big beautiful bill. That's what they were doing. That's why it didn't come.
No, but they
said we need more laws to shut the border down. But that's weird because you just needed a new president. You really didn't need new laws.
Here we go. Okay, I rather them send guns and their armor to
money.
It's not. Most of it is guns and weapons and tanks.
No, they send the money to the country. The country then purchases it back off the. I see what you're saying. You're right, but that they're not
sending money.
More, dude. It's still more.
It's more weapons. It's more material. Yes, it is. But there's still some money in there.
But it's still more weapons than anything.
$300 billion, dude.
But if that saves a soldier's life, that's more important to me than anything.
I don't think it's saving anyone, but I think it's just getting more people killed.
But how are you putting the two?
There's zero. We had 0 soldiers on the ground over there.
Oh,
we've never had soldiers there.
That's what I'm saying. So sending them is keeping us from putting our people over there.
Although it's not infantry, but even though they won't say it, there are American soldiers that are on the ground.
Why would there be American soldiers there to begin with? We're not at war. We are not directly at war with Russia.
Okay,
so why would our guys be there?
Sending them,
dude, but you guys realize there are soldiers there, though.
No, that's a hypothetical.
No. We didn't send not one soldier over there. We sent guns. We sent military equipment. But we didn't.
So who's teaching them how to? So who's teaching them how to use all this equipment? Because they don't. Look it up. Look it up.
We're talking. No. So we're off topic here. We moved the goalpost. Huh? We're talking about in the bill. We're talking about in the bill, right? That you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
That had it, and you said. And I said,
that's why Trump turned it down, because it was trash.
I said to you, why did he call it and say don't do it? Because they had military spending in the bill that had nothing to do with border protection.
Again,
that bill, hold on. That bill should have been about borders only. The reason why they didn't do that was to make bad optics for Trump, or bad optics for anyone, because they know no matter what they did, they were fucked. If they said go ahead and do it, they were going to send extra money over to Ukraine, which is money laundering, which is what they wanted. And if Trump called in and said no, don't do it, now they're going, no, Trump tried to intervene on a fucking on a border bill. So no matter what, see, it was a setup move. It was a setup move with the bill.
They were going to send money there regardless of the fact if it wasn't in there.
Well, then why not do it on its own bill then? Why not make it on its own bill? Why put that part of the border bill?
Because it's sneaky shit.
They were already sending military equipment there to begin with. They were already sending military equipment there to begin with.
Listen.
This was just a little bit more. So
to be honest, it was the same thing.
And then on top of that, again, not one soldier has died over there because we're not sending soldiers. We're just sending military equipment. I'd rather send military equipment.
How's that a point, though? But how is that a point, though? We've never sent soldiers over there.
We are not. All we're doing is giving them equipment. We're not sending soldiers.
No, I understand that. So, I'm not being disrespectful when I say this, but what's your point in saying that no soldiers died?
Because that's more important. Because that's more important than a soldier risking their lives, putting their lives.
I agree, but why put that in the border? If we're talking, if me and you right now are talking about the southern border, right, and then it's to say he is. You
guys realize we're just beating our heads against the wall.
But this guy over here is writing the bill for border protection on the southern border, and then he wants to put military spending in. It's like, why not make it so?
It's a tactic that both sides use, Republicans and Democrats.
You can say the same thing about the big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
No, but that's my point, though. But this goes back to my point of it's a setup. No matter what you do on there, that bill's not meant to do what the bill says. That bill is meant to make one side look bad, depending on how people vote. That's what I'm trying to say. All bills are like that, though. All these bills.
And again, if they're spending, I have no problem with them giving as long as we're not sending any soldiers over there. Hey, whatever. Keep on giving them fucking equipment. As long as we're not putting our own people and our own feet on the ground, whatever. Let them spend that.
I don't even want them doing that. I don't even want them doing that.
We're doing it with Israel.
I know. I don't even really like Israel. Yeah. I know.
Hey, do you know? Hey, fun fact.
He's not wrong.
I don't want either of them. I don't want us involved in either of these fucking places.
Dude, Israel, you don't pay for school, right? College education. You don't pay for that. Yeah. They have free health care. They have, the fuck else do they have? They have so many things that the government offers, and we're over here funding their war.
No, but guess what else they don't have? Illegal immigration.
Dude, they're taking. Dude,
just saying. You know, if we're gonna call a spade a spade.
None of those countries do. None of those countries will blow your head off if you try to come in there.
They're eradicating people. They're killing.
I know, man. I gotta say, Israel is no angel. No, that is true.
All the shit he's saying: free healthcare, free college, free all this. They don't have the extra people coming in that are sucking out of that. And again, those apartments.
We had said this before, and I keep on fucking telling you, it's only 22%. That's nothing, dude.
22% is a quarter. That's a quarter. What are you talking about? A quarter of anything is a lot.
Yeah.
A quarter of anything is a lot.
Hey, for people that are gonna end up putting money back into the economy.
How much money do you? To what end? How much money do you think the American taxpayers should pay for Ukraine to keep on fighting Russia?
Listen,
you think Russia's going to take over the world?
If it's going to later on help us, like right now, he put a stop. Now he put a stop to them taking farmers and them taking
construction workers.
Yeah.
You know, Russia's. Hey, you know what's fucked up? Ever since Israel, Iran, the news ain't showing shit about friggin' Russia, Ukraine, and from what I hear, Russia's pounding the shit out of Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
But again, smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying?
But Zelensky's pissed because he's saying you're giving all the money over there, and I want more money over here. Like, but so that's a good point. Like, why are we giving anybody?
The only difference between those two wars is there's only the United States is really funding Israel. You have the whole EU funding fucking what's it? France and Germany now. Now Germany has put more money in than the United States has into that.
And that scares the shit out of me. That Germany was supposed to never be able to fucking rearm, and now these motherfuckers are rearming under this shit. France.
The whole EU
should go left, bro. This shit could go left.
Guys,
if you gotta go, that's fine.
No. And the show on it's already getting a little bit late into the day.
Yeah. So on the next
time flies when you're having fun, bud.
Yeah.
So on the next,
it's good, but I hate to cut it short, but
no, I get it. Yeah, we all have families and shit. No, absolutely. So on our next episode, we're gonna have Ryan back, I'm sure, and I'm gonna try to get Dan's ass on here for a change, so we can
Toby?
really
try to get Toby on here too.
Yeah, dude, Toby. Yeah, dude, definitely. I was just talking to him today.
Yeah,
me and him were a little.
I seen your conversation with him. You know what I'm saying?
But then you saw me make amends, right?
Yeah.
But dude, he does come in there with wise ass shit every fucking time.
But you ain't no fucking.
Don't expect that no one's gonna say nothing back. I'm just trying to force him to come on the show. That's what I'm really.
Well, listen, you're not accomplishing anything.
I'm scaring away from
because I got a temper and a half, so I get mad at half.
Yeah.
My lips salivate. Fucking.
But like you do realize, at the end of the day that like I like you as a person, right? We have different opinions. I think you're a good dude.
We have a different.
But I think there's a lot of stuff we agree on too, because we found plenty of stuff that we do agree on too.
Yeah, we do.
And I mean, maybe I need to. My wife always tells me that I need to ease up a little bit and be less judgmental and shit like that. I'm trying to work on myself.
Listen, for everyone who doesn't know this, for everyone watching who doesn't know this, we have a group chat off of this, and these two go at each other in this group chat mercilessly, and it's fucking hilarious to sit back and read the shit these two do. It is awesome.
Oh, bro.
Maybe someday we'll screenshot.
One day we should post it.
Yeah, just post. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Bro, that's how we could get people to subscribe. We could say, if you want to see the fucking behind the scenes conversations, pay
shit like that, dude. Because these two go
pay
at
like $1 a month or $2 a month. Bro, I'm just saying, because at some point, if we keep this up, because I forgot to tell you guys, we had like 2 or 3 people who were watching us live today, and Ryan said, holy shit, guys, I'm not on one episode, and everything goes fucking left, because when me and him were fucking screaming. But no, good show, guys.
Isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted?
Yeah.
With a different opinion?
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
I love it, dude. I love this shit. This is awesome.
Bro, I was telling my boy. I love
having conversations with you. I like going back and forth with you, bro. It's awesome.
My coworker, I was telling him, because he is a Democrat and he's Hispanic, and me and him have debates, but we're good friends. So I was telling him about you and how we have you on the show now and shit. So I'm trying to get him to watch the show and shit. So like, yeah, dude, I think this is good shit, man. I do.
I love it, dude. I love having you on the side.
I feel a certain way with a lot of the shit that's going on, because I mean, not only am I Hispanic, my people ain't even supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about that. Right?
Yeah.
My people ain't even supposed to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We came from overseas, right?
Right.
Puerto Rico
and that's why I do get it. That's why I do get it.
I'm Puerto Rican.
No, he's Puerto Rican. Yeah.
But here's my thing, right? I'm Hispanic.
I have a terrible joke for that. I'm not gonna tell it.
Don't. You can tell me on Messenger, all right?
I will. It's really not that bad. You'll probably think it's funny, but I don't want to,
I probably would think it's funny. You know what I mean?
It's really not that bad. No, I'm not.
I've worked with so many Mexican and Spanish people. When they first came into the drywall business, I'm going to admit I was scared, right? Because these mofos were doing
they work
3 times the work. They would laugh at. So we used
to hustle,
right? It was always 2 guys holding, another guy on stilt screwing, right? That's how we used to hang houses. when the invasion, they call it the invasion. When it came in, these cats were doing fucking just 2 guys, 1 guy on stilts, hold it. They're taking one. They would laugh at us. Hey, 3 guys to do that,
bro, I saw it, bro, because I worked as a maintenance tech in like huge apartment complexes for like almost 20 years, and these dudes, like these Brazilian dudes used to come in and fucking bang out fucking work like crazy.
So here's the thing, right? I was scared at first, and then when I get to meet some of these people, have relationships with them,
you realize they're human beings.
House, you realize, holy shit, they're doing the same thing my parents came and did, right? Because when I moved here from Jersey, but when my parents first had my older brother and sister, they lived in the projects, dude. And it's just like everybody else. Those are your baby steps, right? You get out of that situation like my parents did. They bought a house. They sold that house, and my father moved with the company down here to Massachusetts with Johnson & Johnson, and he built a life. And that's what these people are trying to do. And that's where
that's what you get so passionate about it.
Because
I love that story. I just go back to, bro, if that's the path you want to go, do it the right way.
I just wish there was a way that we could come.
There's a right and a wrong way.
I get what you're saying, but to pick people off the streets is not right, dude.
Or at least to like get vetted, like you know what I mean?
Dude,
how do we do it?
Literally just picking people off the streets instead.
I'd like to throw a lot of Americans out of here.
No, I can almost meet you halfway on this, being like, I think the idea of what he's doing is right. We're going about it the wrong way in some aspects. That I can meet you on that. I guess
I can meet you halfway.
The nitty gritty comes down to going, all right, then what do we do? Because like I was trying to convey earlier, no matter what gets implemented, it's not going to be perfect. So if you're looking for 100% efficiency, it's never going to happen.
At least give 75. I'm not looking for 100. At least give 75, man.
No. I agree. And this is where we got to figure it out. Like this is going after people.
Okay, because now, right?
Snatching up construction workers and farmers are bad. I agree with you on that. That's bad.
And he even caught himself. He's like, oh shit.
I fucked up, but can you give him credit on that though? He implements something.
I'll give him credit, but did we have to get to that point?
Maybe we did.
So we should try to find a way to start a coalition.
I don't know. I'm saying maybe in order to do something like that to the masses, you need to see the 100%. All right, this is wrong. This isn't working efficiently. Let's try to tweak some things to make this more efficient.
Just morally, like.
We should try to find a way. We should try to find a way. Guys, what if we found a way?
Morally is different. Morally and legally are different. Morally, I think it's bad 100%. Morally, if we're talking morally, people have been here for fucking 10 years. They have families in here. I am empathetic towards them 100%. I get it. Legally and morally are two different things, though.
To take a mother, throw her on the ground, rip the baby out of her hand. Now her daughter's traumatized.
That's terrible, bro. I don't agree with that. Morally,
no, definitely.
Morally,
I definitely feel bad for
I
children. For children, I absolutely feel bad.
I wish I could show you the video. I wish I could show you the video right now. And I think I have it.
Don't say it's a little. Listen, don't say it's the little girl running and crying, because that is actually a clip from a movie. No. Okay, don't go there.
So they took. So one of the things they cut is immigrants having what do you call it? A lawyer, a court-appointed lawyer, right?
Yeah, you see New York, the governor of New York's giving him $50 million of taxpayer money.
What?
I have to look that up. Anyway, what they did is they cut.
Kathy Hochul just announced it.
Court-appointed lawyers for immigrants. So when these people get picked up, they're with their children half of the time. So these kids get picked up from DSS, right? These kids are representing themselves in court. Children.
I do agree. Like, why can't we find a way to keep the people who are good? You know, but I don't know. That's why I don't know.
No, but I'm asking him, how's that even? See, I'm not saying you're lying, but that doesn't even make sense to me, because anybody goes into court, you have to be represented by somebody. Everyone, even the criminals and shit.
They cut the funding for that, so there's no lawyers. So
there's lawyers of the day in every courthouse across America.
There has been a bunch of cuts because I saw, like I said, Kathy Hochul, who's the governor right now, correct, of New York. She just had a press conference the other day, and she said that because there are so many illegal immigrants who don't have lawyers right now for their things, they were giving them $50 million towards getting representation.
What you're saying that there's too
that's
many
just in New York.
No, hold on. Are they saying that because there's too many illegal immigrants and not enough lawyers to represent them? Is that the problem?
I think that might be part of it, but I think part of it is that there was like funding that was for that when the Biden administration was still in. That's been removed now.
So like I just said, there's too many illegal immigrants and not enough lawyers.
I know. I'm just telling you.
What I mean? Like
I'm just telling you what. I just don't know what the solution is, man. I really don't know what the solution is.
And hey, just a fun fact for everyone too. Just a fun fact. Do you know who's deported? Do you know who's deported the most right now? The self-deportation's up to 1 million right now, more than Trump has deported. Self-deportation. You know that? That's
because they got a flight $1,000 and they can come back if they want.
That's because they got paid. That's because that fucking app that they used got reversed. The Trump gutted that app. Did something.
Yeah. What is that?
Do you understand what these proceedings here in court are all about? You know what a lawyer is?
Like, that's a bad optic.
Well, did you expect a fucking 4-year-old to know what he's saying?
No, but I'm saying, but that's why it's recorded, because it pulls at your heartstrings, because that is a bad optic. Like, it's a child, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a tough. It's not just an easy, simple fix. It's really not. We can all argue here all day.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Is that real? Come on, dude. Really?
Post it.
Hold on. So you're telling me that couldn't? So you're telling me that couldn't be AI? No, you're telling me that couldn't be AI?
Because there was a case, just so you guys know, there was a case where they took.
But is that real? Is that real footage, or is that fucking AI?
It's real, dude. I'm telling you, it's real.
It's from a real courtroom. That's what it's supposed to be, right? He can post it on the SunDaze account.
Post it in the chat.
Yeah, because I want to watch it.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because that's the stuff like I get, like, that shit pulls at your heartstrings. It does.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna deny it.
If that's real, that's fucking terrible. But this goes back to, now we got to figure out how that doesn't happen again. How do we get it so that doesn't happen again? Because everyone deserves to be represented, right? So, like, is that what they say?
And some people say on the right, like, shame on their parents for putting them in that position. But I mean,
but no, man.
Like, I get it. I know what you're saying. I really do, E. I really do.
It's kids.
We should try to. Maybe we could friggin' like brainstorm. We should try to brainstorm. Like, that's what I was trying to say. Try to make some sort of a coalition to try to figure out how we all come together as Americans to figure things out. Like, we could share this show more. That would help too.
Nah, hey.
Share it everywhere. Make sure you share the show, E.
Thanksgiving, do a drive. For Christmas, do a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've actually been thinking a lot lately, to tell you the honest to God truth. The older I get, what am I giving back to the community? I was really thinking about that recently.
Down the street from my house, I used to feed them.
Yeah, I'd like to start doing some shit like that, and you know what I mean?
Listen, that's wrong.
No, it is.
No matter.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Dude, it definitely hurts your heart.
Oh, I agree.
It does hurt your heart to see a child sitting there in front of a fucking court and being like, yeah, that's.
And has no idea. No idea what's being said to them. They don't understand.
Have no idea. No
I
idea.
Get it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it pulls at your heartstrings. I get it.
I get it. I do.
And trust me, I don't want bad people to be here, right? I don't want bad people to be here just as much as anybody. But that's not right. It is.
But it is still weird to me that they do, for some reason, protect some of the bad people. That's what's making people pissed off a little bit. Like, but you're right. There's a lot of shit they're doing that's fucked up. I do see some of it. I do.
That's why none of these institutions are perfect. There's going to be holes in them. And what they need to be doing is, when something like this shows its face, they need to figure out how to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Like, who was it? Roosevelt was.
I cannot agree with that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? When something like that happens, they got to figure out, so what do we do now moving forward? Because that's already happened. That's water under the bridge. There's nothing you can do to undo that. There's nothing you can do to undo that. How do we make sure from this point forward that never happens again? That's the only thing you can do.
Well, listen, first of all, start letting the people that work here that are honest start letting them stay here, which is already, he already agreed to that, right? He's gonna start letting states keep
construction workers,
yeah.
Food workers, and there was something else too. There was 3 or 4 industries.
Hospitality.
Yes.
Because he did say he realizes that he's like, when it comes to that, like, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Again, going to somebody who has to make the overall decision, makes the decision in his mind. It was a good idea, and then as his idea starts moving forward,
progressive.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that was going to happen. Okay, let's correct that.
That happens in businesses. That happens in businesses all the time. I mean, just
but
saying,
okay,
like,
so in that whole time, you just ruined a lot of people's lives, right?
Like I said, it's a very intricate situation. I'm seeing all your points, but I just don't know what the solution is.
It ruins people's. It does. So it ruins some people's lives. But again, if we're gonna say the accountability factor and go into where it's not morally, legally, I'm talking from a legal point of view, you put yourself in this position because you didn't come through the port of entry the right way. So all these things now open up because you didn't do the thing you were supposed to do in the beginning. You tried to skip the line. So it's like this. It's like going down 24. You're trying to get on Route 140. You're trying to get on Route 140. Every car is backed up. We're all waiting to get off the highway the right way. And you got those assholes who come flying down and they fucking cut in last minute. It's the same idea with immigration. You know what I mean?
If they're here contributing, again, why do we have to get rid of if they're here contributing?
Yeah, that's the part that is a good question.
We shouldn't get rid of them. There should be something in place where we don't get rid of them. But if you've been here and you can prove taxes and all this shit, like you've been here, you have no criminal record, we shouldn't remove you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you get nipped off the street and you have no criminal record and all you're here is just because you came here illegally, all right, here's a court date. Let's get this already into track because you have no criminal record.
Tax records. You have tax records that you've been paying here. Okay, so there needs to be a different path. There needs to be a different path for those people.
And back to, and I hate being a broken record, but to go at people when they're going to the immigration office to try to do a checkup, that is fucked up. They're going in to check up
to try to do the right thing. They were trying to do the right thing, and they got scooped up before they could actually like go in there, whatever. Like
trying to do the right thing after you did the wrong thing, though. And
I get it. I'm trying to see both sides.
No, I get both sides. I get.
They already had. Those are people that already had their dates and going to do checkups to make sure they're doing the right thing. They're going there to make sure. Hey, okay, I've been doing this every month. Here's what I've been doing. That's all they're doing, right? Those people you're talking about were the people Joe Biden just let in free willy-nilly into the country and said, here's your court date. That wasn't, I went through a port of entry, gave you all my information. See, that's the distinction.
And that's what I don't get, because I'm not saying that all immigrants are criminals, but what reason do they have for wanting to get in here undetected? You can't deny that there's a lot of people who are criminals, though.
No, because they don't want to wait.
I'm not saying, and it's not the majority, but so how do we stop that? How do we stop that?
We just did. The border's like secured now.
I know.
Now you can only come in the country.
About it.
Now you can only come in the country the right way.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna get in now.
Now.
Yeah, that's the only way.
It should have always been that way.
But the people you're talking about, were the people that Joe Biden.
If you don't have a secure border, you don't even have a country. If you don't have a secure border.
Again, they went on a spree in the beginning and captured. They fucking grabbed a whole bunch of people, right?
When Biden said surge.
What he's saying when Trump did, but in the beginning it was criminals, and now that the criminal, like you said, I agree with you when you said that it seems like we've gotten the bulk of the bad illegal immigrants out, and now they're trying to fill those quotas, and now they're grabbing whoever they can get.
Yeah,
there is some truth.
Yeah,
to that.
Dude, truth to that. Yes, there is some truth, and I am saying I don't want good people to get hurt. I really don't. But
dude, I look every day.
How do we solve it, man?
There needs to be a different path for those people. Like me and him were talking. There needs to be a different path. If you can prove
I was just saying, dude, if they're here, they haven't killed anybody. They haven't.
No criminal record.
They've worked. They actually got a job.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should protect those people. I really do.
A different path. They need a different path. Then they can. I agree with you.
Okay. If we bag one of these people and guess what? Oh, he's wanted for this, for that. Hey, You don't even have to go to court. Put them on a plane. Get them the fuck out of here.
I agree.
Like,
no, I agree with you on that.
Like,
and I don't even think people should get deported for, like, you know how you were saying about people who got deported for having drugs or whatever. Like, if it's just a small amount,
fucking deport them too, dude. Fucking get them out of here. Hey, listen, it's the same shit, right? You're breaking the law. Isn't that what we agreed on? You're breaking the law.
I get it, but what I was saying is, like, the people who are selling large amounts.
I'm with you.
I know, you're right. I'm sorry. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to help you, bud.
Dude, you're shuffling the dominoes. Don't do that, cuz.
No, I was actually trying to. Well, you know what? Hey, I was actually trying to be nice, but you know what? You're right. Fuck them. Get all these motherfuckers out of here. Shit. I was trying to have some sympathy, you fucking crazy bastard.
Hey,
holy shit.
That's to go to show you I'm no cupcake.
Because what I was saying is, like, people, like, peep this. I knew a dude who was a Dominican dude who had been here for like 25 years. He was a good dude. He worked mad hard. But he also liked to sell a brick of coke. And he got caught with a brick, and he had to go bye-byes. I mean, I felt bad, but and he called us and he said, "Bro, I'm so Americanized. I don't know what the fuck to do over here."
Oh
like,
yeah,
this
I
is
know
like
a bunch of those cats.
Yeah.
You know how many dudes back in 2006 to 7 during that time.
There's a huge
There's so many dudes that got bagged. And did you hear about Alberto? Armando got bagged. This guy got bagged, and didn't even. What happened? Right back to DR. Right back.
Hey, but you know what? If the Americans weren't consuming so much goddamn coke, we wouldn't.
Hey, President Steinbaum said it herself that cocaine's not a Mexican problem. It's a fentanyl. It's an American problem, and she's not lying. You know what I'm
that's who's addicted to it. Correct. Yeah. And China wants us. And China wants us to be addicted to it, man.
Bro,
China wants big
time. It's in the UK too.
Here's that thing. You know what I mean? It's all an
dude, that shit's poison, man. That shit's such poison, bro. Yeah, dude, there's so many connections. Like, the world is fucking, dude.
So, I mean, again, we can sit here until we're blue about this.
I know. I guess we're just going to have to continue on our next episode.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I would say, bro, 20 minutes went by like this.
Yeah, I know. And hopefully we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's not a nuclear war before the next episode, boys.
Don't worry, we can always do a pop-up one quick at nighttime for like a half hour. It's like
we can. I'm on my summer schedule now, so I'm on my summer schedule. I could do a pop-up now.
Send you right on Messenger if that happens. I told you so. Fucking
right before I see the flash, I'll see you like, I told you so. You was right. And it won't even matter who was right.
Yeah, at this point.
Oh shit! All right, gentlemen. I guess we can end it there, and I'm sure that we will talk in the group. But I'm about to end the stream. All you who ever watching out there, sayonara.
All right,
peace.
Peace.
All right.